I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway as we continue on our race weekend here, getting prepared for the longest race of the season for the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series drivers, the Coca-Cola 600, ready to be run tomorrow afternoon. It's pole day qualifying here, and we kick things off with the go or go home drivers that will look to get those coveted final 2 spots in this weekend's field. 4 drivers showing up here for those 2 spots in knockout qualifying. And it looks like the first one out on the racetrack is going to be the 62 of Autumn Brooks. Autumn going to be looking to pull double duty here this week, as she also is going to be in the Light Series race here a little bit later on today. Autumn Brooks looking to make what will be her 10th start of the season. Had a great run last time out just before the All-Star break at the Chicagoland Speedway. And this team has been very good when it comes to qualifying. Of course, yesterday took part in pole day qualifying for the Duracell Ultra Light Series race, and so has that little bit of extra track time, maybe in preparation for turning one of the 2 fastest laps here this afternoon. Another driver looking to pull double duty here this week, looking to make his Duracell Next Gen Cup Series debut. This is Kyle Langland, the second entry out of World NOS Racing. We've seen him down in the Light Series running consistently in the top 10 in points, but they've now decided to give him some Cup Series experience here. He's got the Icebreakers Jimmy John's Dark Horse Mustang that he'll try to field tomorrow afternoon. His teammate Daniel Voiles, already a former winner this season in Cup Series competition at the road course of Sonoma. And they're hoping both of their blue ovals are going to be able to make it into the show. Right now, Langland is top of the board at a 29.082. Only 5 minutes available for these drivers, and half of that gone already. Bryce Egan, the full-time entry out of Haas Racing. Bryce looking to make his 8th start on the season. He's failed to qualify for the last couple of races, so hoping that he can make the show for the first time in a bit. And the all-star car out of Blue Oval Automotive this week is going to be fielded by Trey Wright in that Boy Scouts of America Dark Horse Mustang. And right now, Trey Wright just ran his first lap of the session, 29.575. Right now, 4th fastest as things run at the moment. Autumn Brooks is currently sitting in 2nd. Kyle Langland at the top of the board. So the pressure is on Bryce Egan and Trey Wright with only a minute and a half remaining. And Bryce Egan answers the call. Top of the board for the Air Jordan Toyota Camry. I was going to call it a Supra, thinking back to yesterday's pole day qualifying session with the Xfinity cars. 29.055 for Bryce Egan, and Trey Wright has jumped up. Well, he had jumped up to second at a 29.064, but he's been displaced because Kyle Langland just went back up to the top of the board, cresting the 28-second bracket at a 9.86. Less than a minute remaining here. Bryce Egan is right now the first car on the outside looking in, as Trey Wright jumped into the 28-second bracket at a 28.990. We'll see if Egan or Brooks can be able to put together a lap time good enough to get them up there. Nope, no faster for Egan. Autumn Brooks right now running in the 29.2, is about 2/10 slower than the fastest lap she put down. See if she can find something here. Might be able to only get one more lap, and no, still running the 29.2s. Looks like most lap times are all really falling off now. That second or third lap appear to really be the money lap, it seems. Needing to find about a 10th here, a little less than a 10th. Oh, wait a minute. 28.975 for Bryce Egan, top of the board. That knocks out Trey Wright. Moves Kyle Langland down to second, and zero's on the clock, so I think this is going to have to be the lap. If Trey Wright crossed the line before zero's hit, this is going to have to be it. He's going to have to beat a 28.986. He'll have to go 4,000, actually 5,000 faster than his fastest lap. Let's see if he can do it. Do they score him this time by? No, they do not. Session was complete, scoring is stopped. And Bryce Egan with a buzzer beater. He's going to lock himself into the field, and Kyle Langland will be indeed making his Duracell Next Gen Cup Series debut tomorrow afternoon in the Coke 600 by 4 thousandths over Trey Wright. What a battle there in the closing stages of this one, and this was just knockout qualifying. This wasn't even to run for the pole. Imagine how close the times are going to be here in just a moment when we put 42 drivers out onto the racetrack. Bryce Egan with a 28.975. Just a little over 100th quicker than Langland, and look at the interval from Langland to Trey Wright, 4 thousandths of a second. Autumn Brooks ran a couple of fast laps in the early going, but then that car just like really tapered off. So Trey Wright and Autumn Brooks will fail to qualify for the show this week. Going to be interesting to see how Kyle Langland does, as he's going to be making his debut here tomorrow afternoon. How is he going to fare in Cup Series competition? Big opportunity for him, kind of to build a resume, if you will. He's the only Light Series driver that'll be taking part in the Cup Series race. We got a number of Cup Series interlopers that'll be in the Light Series race later on this afternoon, but now it's time to find out who's going to start on the pole position here for the Coca-Cola 600. Bryce Egan, Kyle Langland, they move on. They'll have a shot to run for the pole in just a moment, as we'll take this quick little break and then be back here to the action from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed what you're watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. Welcome back to our coverage of Pole Day qualifying here from Charlotte, as we get set here now to find out who's going to be starting where in preparation for tomorrow afternoon's endurance race, the longest race of the season, and we didn't even talk about this, it's the last crown jewel race of the season as well for the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series drivers. We've already run Daytona, we've already run Indy, Darlington was just a couple of weeks ago, now Charlotte, the final crown jewel race yet to be run. Jessica Shelton in the Mactonite Dodge Intrepid project car out of S3 Motorsports, the defending champion, heading out onto the racetrack. We talked about this in the Pole Day qualifying session yesterday for the Ultra Light Series drivers, and It was the fact that now that we have reached the midway portion of the regular season, now we start to look down in the point standings at those that really have struggled in the first 13 races of Cup competition. Is this the turnaround point for those drivers that we've, in a sense, almost written off from competing for the championship to be able to make that late season run and clinch themselves maybe a last-minute spot? I cast my memory back even to last season. Zach Rogers, I mean, he was struggling. Couldn't even buy a good finish first half of the regular season, and then he found consistency, found victory lane, and I think it was either Texas or Atlanta, one of those mile-and-a-half racetracks, and was able to snipe himself in a tiebreaker, a last-minute playoff position. You look at a bunch of drivers, and we got a couple of them right there in the forefront of your screen. Shelton and Austin LaPlante, who are 39th and 40th in points respectively. The two lowest full-time drivers in the standings. Throw Anthony McCrory into that mix. Nathan Ormond, Daniel Voiles, Kyle Matthews, Dylan Young, Caleb Fogler. These are a bunch of big-name drivers, a number of former champions in that list I just rattled off there. They have a shot still. It's not over. There is still plenty of time. There are 13 points-paying races still to be run until we put this playoff grid together. Do not count these drivers out. It could kick off for them as early as tomorrow afternoon. As lap times are starting to file in, and you'll see them up on the top of your screen there. Ryan Brommer currently the fastest. Ignore the ticker right now. It's got to refresh. And it should refresh here in just a brief moment. Let's find the driver that ended up picking up the victory in that all-star race. There he is. Atlanta Superspeedway, a photo finish, 0.02 of a second was the interval between Jack Mitchell and Carson Gum. Mitchell picking up that victory, and bear in mind, Jack Mitchell is a former, actually defending pole sitter here at Charlotte as well. He was a non-charter driver last year in the Cup Series. Attempted to qualify for a few races. This was one of the races he attempted, and he ended up starting on the inside of the front row. Mitchell coming into this one 7th in the point standings. That win in the All-Star race, I think, was big for him because a lot of people don't put a whole lot of weight into winning an All-Star race. It's a non-points event. Okay, yep, it doesn't mean anything towards the playoffs, but it can mean something in terms of momentum. And Mitchell really was on a bit of a downward streak in terms of momentum heading into that All-Star break. He didn't qualify well at Darlington, thusly didn't finish well. He was the last car on the lead lap in that race, and he didn't do all that well at Chicagoland either. So the momentum was not really there heading into the second half of this regular season. I feel like that win that he was able to get in the All-Star race, that really, I think, gave him a little extra pep in his step here heading into this push towards the playoffs and a track that he's very good at, like Charlotte Motor Speedway. Right now, he's 18th on the board in that patriotic McDonald's Chevrolet. Fastest driver on track is Quentin Moore, and Quentin actually has been in the news this past week. More so for his sponsor than anything. It was announced that Quentin Moore will not have Love's Travel Stop sponsoring him at the end of this season, going into Season 9. Love's Travel Stop no longer sponsoring, I believe, Todd Gilliland over at Front Row Motorsports, so Love's Travel Stops will no longer be with Joanna Atwood Motorsports. So Quentin Moore will be in a newly sponsored car if he returns to the team in Season 9. Right now, he is top of the board at a 28.599. His teammate right behind him there in James Qualls, the former points leader, James Qualls. You talk about a driver that has lost some momentum the last couple of weeks. Qualls would be one of those. Former winner on the season, but his last couple of finishes at Darlington and Chicagoland have dropped him now to 3rd in points, 19 points out of the points lead. He just barely hung on to the points lead after a top 15 finish at Darlington, but lost the points lead after Chicagoland a couple of weeks ago, and he'll look to get that points lead back. That points lead, by the way, it is co-owned. Levi McIntyre and Carson Gum right now, both leading the points in a tie. Trying to find both of those drivers here. I think Levi was actually on pit road. And there is Carson Gum. He is 11th on the board right now in the Noah Toyota Camry out of Fortnite Squad Racing. Of course, coming off the momentum of last week when he ended up almost edging out Jack Mitchell for the All-Star win. And Carson Gum, 3 wins on the season. I looked back, and of course, we've had drivers that have won 3 races in a season. We've had him as recent as last year when we ended up having Connor Breton go to victory lane 3 times. However, we have never had a driver up until this season pick up 3 wins in the first half of the regular season. Carson Gum, the quickest driver to reach 3 victories during the course of a season. The next quickest, I believe, was James Qualls, and that was last season when he ended up having 3 wins in the span of 4 races. That was just after the All-Star break. Quentin Moore fastest on the track right now, trying to find the driver that's second fastest, which is 2-time winner Matt Haas. There he is. Matt Haas with 2 victories, including the season opener Daytona 500. Followed it up with another super speedway win at Dragonette. And Matt Haas, he was actually in the conversation as recent as a couple of weeks ago at Chicagoland to point his way up into a playoff position, but didn't have the best of runs, dropped 3 spots and stands to 15th, which now has him just still in the number 1 wildcard spot, as he is one of 2 multi-time winners outside of the top 10 in points, but inside the top 30. The other one being Destin Bolin, who's actually pulling double duty this week. We'll see him in the late series race later on this afternoon. Right now, that wild card battle, very congested. Haas and Bolin, the number 1 and 2 seeds. Connor Breton currently is the number 3 seed, and then 3 drivers currently would be in on points as things currently stand, and they would be Benjamin Miles, Cole Deaver, and Summer Henson, who jumped up a total of 7 spots in the standings after her runner-up finish to Carson Gum back at Chicagoland. A couple of drivers we will be keeping an eye on during the course of this week as well that are former winners but are outside of the top 30 in the standings. See if we can find them here. One of them is Nathan Ormond. The other one is Daniel Voiles. There is Ormond, 14th on the speed charts right now. Nathan is 37th in points. He is 6 points below the 30th in the standings cut line. And Daniel Voiles, who's going to be pulling double duty here this week. Let's see if we can find the Coke Zero Sugar Mustang. He might be on pit road. Yes, he is. There he is. 25th on the board right now for him. He is just 1 position ahead of Nathan Ormond, 36th in the standings. And he is, 8 points below the cut line. Actually, 10 points below the cut line for Nathan Ormond. 8 points below for Daniel Voiles. I was comparing to 35th instead of to 30th. But we're looking at Cole Deaver, the GM Goodwrench Stars and Stripes Chevrolet, as we're about to hit zeros on the clock. Deaver's hit his stride as he picked up 5 spots in the standings from 17th to 12th after Chicagoland. And as mentioned, right now in a playoff spot via points. But nobody's going to be able to topple Quentin Moore. Quentin's going to capture, I believe this is going to be his 2nd pole of his career. And really, if you think about it, the first one that he's going to earn. The other pole he had was a couple of seasons ago when we ended up having I'm trying to remember what we dubbed them. It wasn't the dash drivers. But we ended up having some preliminary drivers run a race, and then where they ended up finishing was where the then Cup Series full-time drivers would qualify, and Tyler Gerardis at Dover won the race, so Quentin Moore, by virtue, was awarded the pole. This one's going to be the first one he's really going to earn, I believe, in his career on speed. So, well done to him, and he'll look to translate it into his second career win in Duracell Cup Series competition. Session complete. Let's take a look at how it all unfolded for tomorrow's starting lineup. Quentin Moore, Matt Haas, they're going to make up the front row. Rookie Eric Monaco will share the second row with Connor Breton, who, by the way, is the defending winner of this race. Benjamin Snyder and Alexander Rowe, their forwards will make up row number 3. Michael Norman and Keith Batson, a couple more forwards. They're going to be in row 4. How about Kyle Langland? We saw him earlier on qualify his way in through knockout qualifying, and he will make his Cup Series debut from inside of the top 10 as he will share row number 5 with Anthony McCrory. Carson Gum, Jessica Shelton up there in row 6. Good starting track position for Shelton, as well as Austin LaPlante, who really need good points days here to kick off the second half of the regular season. Same for Nathan Ormond, as they'll all be up inside the top 15. Cole Deaver, Reggie Fogelman back in row 8. Then McIntyre, Osborne, Brommer, and Matt McIntyre going to be the top 20. The former pole sitter Jack Mitchell back in 21st as we look further on down the board here. I mentioned this in the pole day qualifying session yesterday for lights. This is a track where you can definitely pass. If you have a good long run car, track position can be attained. It's not where you qualify, it's pretty much where you're going to run. So a lot of big names down here near the bottom of the list, but doesn't mean they're going to stay down there necessarily for long. We may see them up at the front before this race is concluded. And remember, it's the longest race of the season, so pit strategy, I think, is going to come into play very much so as well tomorrow afternoon. But congratulations to Quentin Moore on capturing the pole position for tomorrow afternoon's longest race of the season. Hope you guys enjoyed today's qualifying session here from Charlotte. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. We have shown you all of your qualifying results, and that'll be your starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon. Later on this afternoon at 3, the Light Series drivers head on to the racetrack here for their event at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and then tomorrow it's the Coca-Cola 600 to cap off our race weekend from this exciting mile-and-a-half speedway. Until later on, or tomorrow, whenever you tune in, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.